Well, I've got some sort of sleep hacks for general to help us sleep better. And I always say that tomorrow starts today. So everything that we're putting in here will affect how well we sleep, which is affecting how well we wake up tomorrow and how energized we feel. The easiest win actually with sleep is if you're having a lot of caffeine. That's a really easy win. To reduce your caffeine, to enjoy 1 or 2 cups of tea or coffee only with your breakfast or with your lunch, so only with food, to lessen the effect on cortisol. Basically, if we need cortisol, the stress hormone, to be dipping quite nicely at sort of 9 o'clock in order to allow melatonin to be produced and to come out. And melatonin is our Dracula hormone. It comes out in the evening to help us restful sleep. But if we're really stressed out, if we've had lots of tea and coffee, our cortisol will be quite high, which can actually stop melatonin from doing what it needs to do. Another easy an easy win when it comes to sleep is to have more protein-rich foods. And there's a particular protein called tryptophan, which is an essential amino acid, essential protein that we need to get from our diet. And tryptophan can be found in lots of different foods like chicken and some rice and some eggs and things like figs and even things like sort of tart cherry juice that you can buy from your health food store have a lot of tryptophan in. And this is an essential amino acid that goes on to make serotonin, which is our happiness neurochemical. We can never have too much serotonin, but then it also goes on to make melatonin. So everything about what we're eating is, our whole body is one big chemical reaction. And in order to get good sleep, we need this essential protein, so more protein. Another key thing that you can do is to make sure that you don't have what's called high tyramine and high histamine foods on your plate in the evening, because these kind of compounds in our food actually stimulate adrenaline, which can actually make us feel quite sort of buzzy and not be able to get to sleep. And these are foods like cured meats, bacon, sausages, things like that, cheese, wine. I mean, we all know if we've had lots of wine and a cheese board, we're not going to sleep that well, and that's because of that. Another thing that you can do is not to exercise too late. If we exercise very late, that can increase cortisol, and we need to be keeping cortisol down. More magnesium. Magnesium is nature's tranquilizer. It's also essential for energy production as well, and many different things in the body. But magnesium is wonderful if you tend to get your sort of a bit wired and tired before bed. Increasing magnesium-rich foods is hugely beneficial. Things like green leafy vegetables, avocado, legumes like black beans, for example, sorts of vegetarian chilies and things are nice there. Also things like pumpkin seeds and cashews. Also Epsom bath salts. So these are, you can buy them from your local pharmacy, then they don't have to be expensive Epsom salts. And this is something that I really like and incorporate into my bedtime routine, is to have a bath with Epsom salts in. And this allows magnesium to be absorbed through the skin, and it's very calming. You can start to sort of put that into your sleep routine. It's like when we have young children, it's very important to get to sort of sleep train yourself actually. And another way to do that is to go to bed at a very sort of consistent time, the same time every evening, and to get that sort of come off screens as well, an hour before bed. We all know if we've been scrolling or, second, third screening or doing work on our computer, we feel quite wired before bed. And this is because the blue light that's coming from the screen is actually triggering adrenaline production through our retina. So that's something to think about as well. But also to increase more warming food. And not to have too much heavy food in the evening. The body needs to be cool when it gets to bed. That's why you should always sleep with the window open. But also, if you've eaten lots of kind of high protein, really big chunks of meat or whatever, you will create a lot of heat, which will also affect how easily you can fall asleep.